came to claim the game in your town. You came to ride the highs of this jump, baby. We came to guarantee the big crump. So if you or your people ever want to doubt this, show-stopping body rock and tell them.
DRG dominating Maro in that previous series. That last game, a little bit painful to watch.
Yeah, you know, he tried that two-base all-in. It was actually really funny.
It was so funny.
Because as we're like, all right, guys, he basically has to do some of this attack. It's all in. He can't go home.
He can't just make two bays in a command center and expand.
And that's what he did. And, like, from there, it was just, well, I'm so sorry. DRG has 5 bases and better upgrades. Like,
yeah. It was a walk through the park for DRG from there.
Yeah, it was.
Now, this is going to be interesting. Violet against DRG. You know, ZVZ does not operate like the other Zerg matchups. There's a lot more volatility. Excuse me.
Indeed, and I gotta say that I love the new ZVZ style that's come out with double engineering bays with mass Ling counters and a lot of infestors. It is the coolest. I love to watch that, and I really hope to see at least one of these players do that. We've seen Violet actually recently play like that a lot in his ZVZs. It really suits his style, so we'll just have to see, Tasteless.
I'm just hoping to see some mech in this game. I just love it when I see Zerg players go mech.
All right, Violet against DRG. The winner gets out of this group in the GSL Codes. Special thanks to our sponsors. In the red, in the bottom right, we have our Zerg player. He's gradually been improving, and it looks like he may very well be moving on out of this group with the GSL Codes. He is.
Empire Violet.
My worst intro ever.
Wow.
Artos,
you know what?
You gave me the worst look as I was doing that.
Well, Tasteless, I mean, to follow up for DRG, I think I'm just going to have to open the dictionary and, like, read it.
In the upper left, we have our Zerg player. Easily one of the best Zergs, if not the best Zerg in the world. He is
MVP DongRaeGu.
Instead of like entering the players, we just open it up and point to a word.
No.
I'm like, reputable. Just like read the definition, then it zooms in. It's like,
yeah, but for Violet that time, you pointed to run and read like all 14 definitions.
Oh my god.
I believe run has the most definitions in the dictionary.
Oh, no, there's got to be something else.
No, I think it's run. Guys, let us know on Twitter. I am Artosis. He's called me Tasis. I'm pretty sure
the run. Well, run's got to be one of them, but I would actually think the F word.
I don't think so.
Well, no, I guess that could be. No. That's not correct because the F word can actually just be used in any as like a noun or a verb or an adverb or whatever. But so no, there has to be.
Run has, I believe, the most definitions.
Does it?
Don't mess with me and my dictionary skills, Tasteless.
I feel like I should never battle you in Trivial Pursuit.
No, you shouldn't.
Like you'll just know.
Yeah.
You'd be like only humans and anteaters can get leprosy.
Actually, it's not anteaters, it's armadillos. God, but good job.
Damn it!
Good try.
I tried.
Yeah. Good memory, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So we do have some fast expansions, of course, going up for these players. DRG with the hatch first and late pull. Violet with the much earlier pull here. And a little bit later gas. Now, ZVZ has changed quite a bit. You know, we used to see it would be Nest T going for a long game with mutas, and then everyone else going Ling-Baneling Wars into Roaches. And I mean, there was a little bit of variation, but since the Queen range upgrade, it's kind of interesting the way that functions in Baneling battles, where even though they're sitting on your ramp trying to stop stuff from going up, they can help to snipe some Banelings. And so basically we're seeing ZVZ overall lengthen as a matchup, because it's not ending early as often, even though that definitely still is a possibility.
All right, Ling speed here for DRG. And it looks like Violet's just going to focus a little bit more on droning up. Oh, no. Actually, as I say that, Violet gets some Ling speed as well.
Yeah, Violet's second Queen just now popping out. Both of them at 2. Very similar counts and everything, just slightly more drones for DRG, and that's just something that will go back and forth a lot. There's like a certain flow to it because one person went pool first, one person went spawning pool first. The spawning pool first gets more injects, but the pool first just kind of got this hatchery up a little bit quicker.
And the well-placed Bailing's Nest here by Violet.
Yeah, look at that little wall he's made.
Yep.
Very nicely done. You have to go all the way around the hatchery or kill the queen.
And you can see DRG actually electing to not make any sort of wall here with his Bailing's Nest.
And both ways can be good. Like, having it as part of your wall, yeah, that's great. But just having the misinformation of your opponent not knowing whether you have it or not, until, of course, he sees a Baneling, that can be very useful as well. So, neither player right nor wrong in this.
All right. Oh, and he's actually going to get a wall of his own as well, just with the Evolution Chambers.
Cool. And double Evo. That tells us that he is probably looking to go upgraded Lings with Mass and Fester. And, of course, if you live long enough off that, you do go into Ultra. It's like, really, really cool. In fact, at MLG, I think it was Violet versus, I want to say Leenock on Daybreak.
Oh,
actually,
that game was sick.
It was actually like 2 players getting Ultraless concaves on each other. Like, it was 18 Ultras versus 18 Ultras where the guy that has the better arc is winning and stuff like that. Until, of course, Leenock snuck in some Broodlords and just killed her.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember watching that game at MLG, and I'm like, okay, so I'm finally now seeing a game where there are Broodlords and Ultras in a ZVZ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was pretty neat, man. I liked it a lot. Oh, and a lot of Lings running in for
that was close.
Yeah, the Banelings forcing him out. Let's talk at the same time, Tasos.
Okay, let's talk at
Let's just both scream at the same
listen to each
time,
other.
man.
We're going to
It's
stop.
hard for me to do because I want to listen to everything you say. No. So we do have a double Evo, of course, for Violet as well. So it looks like we should be seeing this. Oh, wait a minute. Violet's actually getting the +1 ranged attack. So he's absolutely going for a different style here. And, that's going to make him... this might be a metagamey thing that we're seeing from Violet. Oh, my God. I
that was close.
Sure. Yeah, it looks like... wow. Should have detonated that, but... Okay.
All right.
Well, that's a wash.
That is...
Okay, so let's explain kind of the way that these two things match up. When you're going for the double Zergling upgrades, generally what you're going to do is threaten a lot of run-bys with your Zerglings to try to do whatever you can do with that. Now, since he's seen a lot of Zerglings as well, he is throwing up the Roach Warren, and when you're going for the actual roaches instead, you have to be very careful because fungal plus Lings can take that out. There's going to be spine crawlers involved. It actually becomes really kind of crazy the way that the game can look. Both players can kind of be killed by a full frontal attack by roaches, but they're threatening run-bys, which makes it into some sort of weird base trade where you're afraid that maybe he has enough fungals to stop you, and it's wild, man. ZVZ is still a little bit of a knife fight, despite the cool changes that we've seen.
All right, he's going to come up here. He's going to be careful. All right, just a completely even trade there. Now more Lings are coming up here.
A lot of Banelings from DRG pushing down. He wants to kill this hatchery. Oh, no!
Whoa.
That was a big mistake.
That was a big screw by DRG, actually hitting the hatchery with Banelings.
Yeah, 3 of them. And in fact, Violet not going to defend quite yet. He is going for a little counterattack here. But with the Baneling being morphed in back, will he get it? Yeah! Oh, beautiful move by Violet. Moving up to take out that Baneling. This is very close.
Oh! I don't even think he notices.
Yeah.
Or cares.
And DRG will hold this. In the meantime, he did force a cancel on Violet's hatchery. So DRG actually taking a little bit of a lead here. And now it looks like, wow, look at this. Violet is just going for 2-2 for his roaches, whereas DRG is making roaches and getting that +1. So he was ready to go for those Lings and is now going to transition. I like this. The fact that he got the cancel on that and he has his third up, there's no reason to continue on Zerglings. Zerglings are when you're going to threaten counterattacks. What he can do is just make an army that's, equal to his opponent, or even just slightly less, because he has the defender's advantage. It takes a while for his opponent to get across the map. Yeah, basically what he has to do is defend, because he has that third base up so much quicker than Violet. It's a great choice to switch into roaches for DRG.
All right, so Violet now pushing in here.
If those
DRG is
banelings-
aware
oh my God.
of these rocks over here.
The banelings just hit the rocks, man. He had banelings
What?
with him, and he hit the rocks with them. He just right-clicked with a big control group into those rocks.
How many did he lose?
4. Very,
Oh
very
my
sloppy
God,
there.
that's so bad.
All right, so DRG with his roaches has his banelings still.
I can't believe how. Well, hold that thought. We have the attack coming up here. DRG with just a better angle and some banelings hitting that. No way Violet's going to pull through here, and he is going to be forced out. I am so shocked to see the sloppy baneling play by both of these guys.
Yeah, you have to be very careful with your banelings to use them correctly. And now we do have Violet continuing to rally up roaches. DRG does have to be careful here, rallying down more of his own roaches. Violet has a huge amount of roaches in production, and his 2-2 is going to finish well before the +2 attack of DRG, though he will have that +2 carapace.
So that could give him a small window of time to come out here with some kind of a win. All right, so he's going to regroup and then probably move out again.
And one thing to point out, Tasteless, is that Violet is getting Burrow as well, which can help him, but DRG getting an Overseer and starting Infestor production. So, you know, the roach count might get a little bit higher for Violet, but with Infestors, if DRG hits some nice fungals, gets his surface area just right, he should be able to hold.
All right, he's moving up now. Remember, when Roach versus Roach, it's all about having that good concave here. Okay, so Violet really pushing up here, trying to maximize the amount of damage he can get off here. DRG smartly backs off, trying to get another angle where he's going to have a better position. Right now, Violet doing a ton of damage, so more Roaches hatching, though. The Queen in the back continue to do some more damage.
And the Queen helping out. It does have another transfuse as well. And Violet's roaches, their numbers are diminishing. In fact, the Spinecrawler even helping out a little bit. DRG he has an Infestor now, so that's going to help him out a ton. And here we go. Should be seeing it. Bam! Nice fungal there, and DRG going to kill quite a few roaches. Well done by DRG. A great hold indeed. And in fact, now they're equal on roach counts, but DRG has the Infestor tech, whereas Violet absolutely does not. So he's got
that Infestor tech actually is just so good in this matchup because obviously not only is it great for picking up the roaches, but the roaches can't move, and with their limited range, you know, you can actually, if you get like a corner of a big ball of roaches,
it's huge, man.
You can actually have all your roaches hitting, you know, the majority of theirs, while you just let those other roaches take damage.
Absolutely. And in fact, if they try to run, you can punish them. And in fact, this whole time, DRG's been up about 15 drones. So DRG is just unbelievably ahead right now. And we're going to see him continue to pop out Infestors as he can. He is getting a second one now, but really focusing on roaches, realizing that he needs to get his actual army count up very, very high. You know, if he can have 2 fungals and the same amount of roaches, or slightly more roaches, that's going to be optimal for right now. And that's actually what's happening. He's got more roaches than Violet, and he's got just 2 Infestors. I love that he hasn't overcommitted on those, knowing how late the tech of Violet is. DRG just completely impressing.
Well, he is just, I mean, this is like watching like Savior or something.
It's beautiful,
you know, from
man.
StarCraft 1. Now, there is a pretty good arc here for Violet, but see, that's what I'm talking about. Just let those roaches burn. Ooh, that was interesting.
And look at that. A beautiful move. If you fungal them underground, they cannot unburrow, and that allowed him to kill him. That made him unburrow, and DRG just going to crush through Violet.
All right.
A great move. Seeing that burrow, that was such a mistake by Violet.
Yeah, that just seemed very impulsive, you know what I mean? Almost kind of amateurish.
It's like he instant hit it, then realized, uh-oh.
Yeah, oh, that's right, I can't do that. Well, that's it, guys. DRG has won.
Yeah.
We're going to go on to game number 2 and see if Violet can come up with something a little bit better.
Yeah, this was DRG completely outplaying Violet here.
Yeah.
So
GG.
well done. GG indeed. You know, Violet took a big risk. When he ran across the map with all those speedlings, while DRG was attacking that hatchery with a few lings, he made the conscious choice to go for, like, okay, I have to do damage with these because you're going to enforce a cancel on my third instead of trying to defend his third. Now, if he had defended his third, the whole game looks different because their thirds come up at the same time. But instead, he got his canceled. DRG defended against the lings by making some banelings. And, I mean, that gave him such an edge that Violet felt he had to attack. It wasn't a terrible choice.
For a second, I thought the attack was actually going to work, too.
Yeah, and in fact, if DRG...
He almost had that tipping point where it's like, okay, too many roaches, get off onto the low ground, and then Violet takes the game, but DRG barely hanging on there.
Yeah, if DRG had stayed on lings, or, you know, if he had micro a little bit more poorly, got Overlord blocked once, maybe even if Violet hadn't wasted 4 banelings, maybe that would have helped him towards that tipping point. But you know, Violet with a little bit questionable decisions, whereas DRG played pretty much as solid as you could in his ZBZ like that. Really impressed with him today, man.
Can Violet come up with something better? DRG looked very bulletproof in that game. The only thing that surprised me was the sloppiness of the Banelings. Violet hits the Banelings on the Destructible Rocks. By the way, had those not hit the Destructible Rocks, the game could have been completely different.
Yeah, I wonder how much damage he could have dealt with those on those clumped up roaches at the top of DRG. It's hard to say.
DRG used some Banelings of his own.
Yeah.
And kind of swung the
they
tide a little
can
bit.
help out in a roach battle if you hit a nice clump. But
Right.
it really comes down to, do you hit that clump? Do they spread a little bit? Because they also can all be wasted on like 1 or 2 roaches.
Right.
So you have to be careful about that.
All right, well, looks like we're almost ready for game number 2. Violet picks Daybreak.
All right, Daybreak it is. This map, pretty fun for ZVZs. It's so long, very likely to see double Evos again. Much more likely to see them stay on Zerglings as opposed to switch to Roaches. It's such a long walk for Roaches on this map that by the time you get over there, they can have so many Lings, and if they have Fungal Tech out by then, oh man.
All right, game number 2 is literally starting right now. So we're going to get this going with Violet and DRG. GSL, the Global StarCraft 2 League. That's what it's called.